This is the Tarot and Oracle forecast for Libra for the month of May 2018. This is an overview of the bigger energies that will be affecting most Librans. Some will apply to you, some won't. If you'd like a reading that is applicable specifically to your life story, or to answer some questions, or that incredible soulmate reading, it genuinely is, you can contact me via the links in the description box below. Libra, we start with your love relationships, those of you that are looking for love in particular. The tea leaf cards that you got are Woman, Wedge, Bowl, Fair Man, and Devour. You'll see I picked the Angel Romance cards, 2 of those as well. We'll get to those a little later. So for you, where you are looking for relationships, for those of you that are looking for relationships, there's dealings or relationships with a woman, and there's someone who's trying to come between you and what you want. I think for some of you, you may be competing for somebody. There's a woman that stands in the way of what you want, or you are that woman and you feel there is something in the way of what you want. That plenty of material things, followed by the Fair Man and then the Bow. So the dealings in a relationship with a man with blonde, grey or white hair. So that seems to be the predominant male. For those of you that are wanting a male in your life, that is. And if it's a female, it could also be that she has a stronger or more dominant male side. This is a fair-haired person by the looks of things. You are highly thought of. They admire you. So if you are wanting to get into a relationship and there seems to be another woman that's standing in your way, know this person whom you wanted to get into the relationship with has actually got their eye on you in particular, regardless of whether you think there is a wedge between you and this person because of another woman. The Bowl says plenty of material things. This is quite interesting that it crops up in the middle of this particular row of cards. So it gives me the feeling that there is something material involved in here. Is the person that you are interested in perhaps wealthy? Is the person who's also interested in the person that you are interested in perhaps wealthy? There seems to be an element of that involved there. But just remember, the person whom you are interested in, seems to be just as equally interested in you, right? If we move on to the 2 angel cards that you got, there's Reconciliation and Soulmate. This is actually interesting. I think for quite a lot of Librans, there is somebody from your past whom is now coming back into your life that was with somebody else. Maybe they left you for someone else. Maybe they've been involved with someone else for a while, so you've kind of turned a blind eye to them because you know they're unavailable, even though you felt that you still wanted them in your life. This person's a soulmate. So for those of you, those Librans looking for a relationship, that a past lover comes back into your life, that person is a soulmate. In other words, you have a soul contract and you possibly still have unfinished business. How far that unfinished business extends, whether it is that you just have a repeat of a relationship, whether it is that you're actually truly meant to be together forever, get married in other words, or make a very committed relationship or partnership, well, that depends on your own life story. We need to take a look at that. But there definitely seems to be someone from the past coming back for many, many Librans. Right, for those of you Librans that are in committed partnerships or relationships, such as marriage, for example, the tea leaf cards that you get is the Cup, the Inkpot, the Bridge, the Fan, and an Older Woman. So the Cup says you should accept valid criticism. The Inkpot says problems to be resolved. The Bridge says successfully overcoming the problem. The Fan says romance, celebration, and party. And then you have the Older Woman card, which is dealings or relationship with an older woman. Now you'll see I selected a tarot card as well, which is the Queen of Fire. So if I look at this lineup of cards, especially with the Queen of Fire involved, the Queen is always an older woman or older female energy. She's right at the end there, and she speaks about being able to collaborate with people, getting the best results by being able to collaborate with people, by working with people, by bringing out the best in people. Yet she is in charge, but she can work with people. She manages to bring out the best in them, and the collaboration is what makes for success. I think she's the one. She could be your mother. She could be your mother-in-law. She could be a granny, an aunt, whatever the case is. She's possibly going to give you some kind of advice for those of you in committed partnerships or relationships that at first you consider to be criticism. Now the inkpot says there are problems to be resolved, and she's possibly going to be pointing out whatever that is or offering advice for what that is. Whatever her advice is, it's good advice, because successfully overcoming a problem is the next card that comes up. And then you get romance, celebration, and a party. So somehow her input helps you to overcome something within the relationship, a problem within the relationship. She's wise. She's been around the block a few times. She knows how to bring the best out in people, and the advice that she gives you helps you resolve or find resolution within that problem. She's an older woman, so she could be, like I say, mother, mother-in-law, granny, auntie. She could even just be a friend, a mother of a friend, somebody older. It could even be your boss, you never know, who gives you some really good advice. And listen to her, because she's very capable of bringing people together. That's the message that came right there for you guys. Right, now if we have a look at your career cards, you get the haystack, the grapes, the gavel, the chairfold, and you get the Six of Earth as your tarot card. This is an interesting lineup. So what I see here is something within the career sector, for those of you that have a job, have your own business, are busy on some kind of project. Karma is coming in. Now, in other words, you're going to reap what you've sown. So the effort that you've put into whatever you've been doing will pay dividends. So if it's not enough effort, those are the dividends too. Knowing Librans, it's probably been too much effort, so you will get just loads coming back to you. The grape says it's time to go out and have fun, which is what makes me think you've been putting in maybe a bit or too much overtime, or a lot of overtime. Let's put it like that. You've been putting in a lot of overtime, so it's time to take a little bit of break and have fun. That gavel, involvement with the law, and the chairfold, followed by the Six of Earth. This suggests to me, the message that's coming through with this is there's some kind of contract coming up. You have an official deal with the law involved. In other words, there are lawyers involved. So if it's papers that were drawn up by lawyers, if it's a partnership that needs to be overseen by lawyers, if it's a deal that you're signing that has lawyers involved, that's what that feels like, especially in this lineup. And someone new is entering your life. There's a new partner coming into your life. You could be, like I say, signing a deal with a new company, with a person. You could be getting someone new coming into your department that you work in, someone on an official basis. That Six of Earth speaks about resources coming in an unexpected way. You're going to benefit materialistically in an unexpected way within your career sector. You're not going to see this coming. You may have an idea of something, but the amount it brings you and how it brings to you, you haven't seen that yet. You're going to see that in the month of May. It's a bit of a surprise, but it is a nice one. And there's definitely something official with this. There's a signing of something involved with this. Success in the month of May comes courtesy of the whale, a handshake, the tortoise, a broken ring, and the Three of Water. And the broken ring card has landed on the floor, which is very interesting. It kind of jumped back out again. Right, I'll see how that message pops into my head by the end of this. So the whale says you're worrying hugely about something, about nothing. Worrying hugely about nothing. So in the month of May, give worrying a break. Easier said than done. I know that of all people. The handshake says a meeting with a stranger could be important. That's already shown up here. Someone new is entering your life. The chairfold, that shows up in here. The tortoise says slowly but surely getting ahead. So I think why you need to stop worrying is that things are going to turn out great. But it's slow. It's slow and steady at the moment. So that's what makes you worry. You want to see things happening faster. But they are going to happen. It's just not going to be overnight. The broken ring says parting of ways in either romantic or business. Yet you get the Three of Water as your tarot card. And you've got the chair fold in your career sector. Look, for some of you, indeed, there is a split up on the romantic level. Some of you have already split up. Many of you, in fact, have already split up. I know, doing readings for so many of you that have gone through separations, but the final separation hasn't been made yet. I think in the month of May, that could be, oh, that's the message, yes. That's why that card jumped onto the floor. Okay. So for those of you that are in the separation phase and it's not the final ending of the relationship, May is the month that it happens, that you finish off on the 3 of water, which is celebration. It is getting together with people and having fun. It's joy and laughter and celebration of doing things together. So you do not end this up heartbroken. I think it's just time. It's time for whatever it is to now finally part ways. You finally decide to part ways, and the time is just right. There's no heartache here. I don't see any heartache here. I do see meeting up with a stranger that could be important. Right, now your happiness cards for the month of May. Now, as those of you that watch regularly will know, the happiness cards for me is all about what your soul wants you to experience in the month of May. Ultimately, it wants you to experience happiness. This is the story that it plots for you to live through on the road to finding that happiness, right? And that involves all sorts of experiences. You get the feather, the mountain, the valley, a dark woman, a butterfly, and the ace of air. There that woman shows up again. The feather says someone you know is undependable and insecure. The mountain says major challenges to overcome. The valley says deep personal strength and peace that assure success. The dark woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with a dark hair or complexion. The butterfly says a change for better. And you get the ace of air. If I look at that lineup of cards, somebody in your life, Libra, has been undependable because they are insecure. I know a lot of Librans that have this story at the moment. Someone disappointed you, someone broke your heart, someone disappointed you in many ways, on many levels, because they were insecure, and you just became part of the story that they play out continuously. There were major challenges to overcome. And I think they're going to be more still in the month of May, but not that many of them left. You have accumulated deep personal strength through what you've gone through in the last 7 years. That reminds me, in the month of May, Uranus finally moves out of Aries, which is in your 7th house. Where relationships are concerned, it's thank heavens, and it's genuinely meant. You're going to see a major shift happening in your relationship sector as Uranus makes that final departure. I think that is also why there is going to be that final separation for those of you that are going to be going through a separation and it hasn't been the final cut yet. You have built up immense personal strength over the last 7 years because of Uranus being in Aries in that 7th house of yours. Because of that, you are assured success where problems with relationships are concerned, because you know how to navigate those waters now. You're much stronger. The dark woman, for many of you it is you. For others of you there has been a dark woman involved. Yeah, it could be a mother, it could be a sister, it could be another woman. But there is now a change for the better coming. That Ace of Swords and the change for the better card, one following the other, says to me that you go into this new phase of your life, and it's definitely going to be a new phase of your life, with the kind of determination that Excalibur had, the Excalibur in the stone, right, in King Arthur's stories. You have that kind of determination and that clarity, that immense clarity, especially where relating is concerned, that will have you making far wiser choices for your own good, for your own happiness, where relating is concerned in the future. I hope that you enjoyed that reading. I'd like to repeat, if you'd like a personal or private reading or that incredible soulmate reading, please contact me via the links in the description box below. Thank you for watching, listening, commenting, liking, subscribing, and if you share this video, a particularly big thank you.